Hello and welcome to the Open Book channel, where I talk about anything and everything writerly, very, very honestly. And guess what? The channel just hit 100 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who's watched my videos, commented, and stuck around. I really appreciate it. I hit 100 subs officially on May 8th, but I postponed a celebration video because I'm so used to the number fluctuating that I wanted to be certain it wouldn't dip under again the second that I posted this, because that would be a little embarrassing. To celebrate, I know people usually do Q&A videos, but my presence on YouTube is stronger than it is on other social media, so I don't really have another platform to pull relevant questions from. Eventually, I'd love to have a subscriber-fueled Q&A video, but for now, I thought I'd partake in the Anxious Booktuber tag instead, because that feels apt. I found this tag watching Spivey, who I will link in the description below. So here it is. The Anxious Authortuber tag, question 1. Did you think about opening your channel for months or even years? Yes. Although, before starting this channel, I had a gaming channel that I posted to, actually. I mean, I still have a gaming channel. You can check it out if you like mediocre gameplay and sailor swearing. I've got a real mouth on me when I'm not trying to be articulate. Anyway, having a gaming channel as my main entryway to interact with YouTube made for a very jumbled up and confused algorithm. YouTube never knew what kind of content to recommend me because I was divided between League of Legends streamers and video essayists. And similarly, my desire to make content branched out farther than gaming videos. But I knew that talking about books wasn't going to do me any favors in curating my YouTube experience at that point. So I made a BookTube account, separate from my gaming channel, so I could swap between them depending on my mood. And the more I watched people talking about creative content, the more I wanted to make some myself. And here we are now. Funnily enough, though, my first video posted on this channel was on June 11th, 2019, discussing my personal experiences and the toxicity of gaming, but it was a step in the right direction. Question 2. Do you ever feel guilty for not filming, but too uncomfortable to do so, but it makes you feel even more guilty, etc.? Yeah, of course. That's kind of why I'm a VTuber. I adapted a VTuber model because I wanted to film more, but couldn't because of my lack of self-confidence. I needed to find a way around having to deal with how uncomfortable I was in front of a camera 99% of the time. I hated the way it held up my production, when all I really wanted was to share my thoughts with people. Thoughts that had nothing to do with my appearance. The way things are now, I'm limited from filming more by the environment around me, like what's going on in my life and schedule, than my lack of desire to film. So the guilt hasn't bothered me in a long time now, but it's not my fault if I miss an upload. I blame the universe instead. Question 3. Do you question your original topic choices for weeks, ending up filming an entirely different video on a whim because you think you're dumb? No, not really. I script all my videos, and when I get the idea to write the script, I always feel good about it, or rather, passionate about it, and I try to ride that inspiration train all the way to the end of filming, editing, and uploading. I don't give myself time to question whether I'm dumb. Sometimes I feel that way when the scheduled upload might finally post itself because the topic that I wrote isn't as relevant as it used to be, but at least I didn't throw anything out because of self-doubt, and that's what I prioritize more. Question 4. Do you struggle opening up to other YouTubers for reasons such as, I'm not interesting enough, I don't have anything to say, they'll think I'm here for clout, etc.? This is a tough question to answer, because the answer is yes, but for different reasons than other author-tubers would say yes. I've never really reached out to other YouTubers for collabs through videos, or asked for a shout out because I personally find that behavior disingenuous when it is geared towards, hey, say I'm a cool channel, I'll tell people to check me out. That said, I have absolutely questioned myself, and I've been afraid that other YouTubers think that I'm looking for clout, because when I started Acidic Ink, I reached out to some author-tubers that I admire to offer my services for a nominal or no fee at all except to get experience. And looking back, I'm sure that came off as really shady. I just didn't know who else to reach out to. I didn't know who else I wanted to help the most, you know? because I really did just want to help, but with the way that the world works, all seemingly altruistic things come off as inherently shady. I wish it wasn't so hard to send someone a message saying, "Wow, I like your stuff and I'd like to help you with what you're doing if you need any," without it feeling like I'm looking for something from them, because I'm not, and that sucks. I think it'll feel less bad as time goes on, though. If my channel isn't so small, my desire to be involved in projects won't seem like it's for personal benefit rather than actually just wanting to help. Question 5. Do you spend more time preparing for a video worrying about your looks, what you have to say, your background, or anything else than actually filming and editing? I worry most about preparing the script for the videos, because that's the only thing that really matters. Like I said, as a VTuber, I've eliminated a lot of other things that I used to have to worry about too much, like how I looked or what the set behind me looked like. Now it's all about getting the script together and not tripping over my words once it's time to read it. Question 6. Do you sometimes black out during filming, not saying anything in front of the camera because you are suddenly questioning your entire life choice and wondering why you ended up here? Question. No. I have blacked out while actually giving a speech in public before, though. The fact that filming, like with a camera, isn't one-to-one makes it a lot easier. This does not bode well for me in the future if I ever want to stream, though. Fun fact, while I'm writing scripts, I sweat profusely because there's a little thought in the back of my head constantly reminding me that my words will be heard and potentially scrutinized once I'm finished. I think this question should ask if you blank out, not if you black out, because that is pretty extreme when it happens. Now, if I didn't have a script, the answer to this would be yes. Yes, 100 times yes. The second I try to say anything off script, I forget how to form sentences, and I stare at the camera. Even the document of, like, ideas, I can't, like right now. I know what I'm supposed to be talking about, but I went off script a tiny bit, and I can't even fathom. Back to the script. Scripts are my god. And I have learned not to disobey them. So that doesn't happen anymore. Question 7. Have you ever cringed so much about a video that you've not posted, deleted it, buried the memory card in your garden, dug it out late? Oh my god, the sentence is a lot. Okay. Have you ever cringed so much about a video, you've not posted it, deleted it, buried the memory card in your garden, dug it out because it's expensive, and cried for a few hours? I didn't realize these questions were going to get so oddly specific. No, because I don't film on a camera. I use a webcam, so I can't bury anything in my garden. And I don't have a garden. That helps too. I really hated my first vlogs, which I did in person and with a camera, and I cringe a bit at them from time to time, but honestly, I've seen so much strange, cringy things on the internet that I excuse myself the few things that I've done at this point, and all of the things I am likely to do. I try to be lenient. Question 8. Do you watch or even rewatch your video just to insult yourself in your head? Or, on the opposite, do you refuse to do so because you know you'll end up insulting yourself in your head? I rewatch my videos a lot, actually, and I'm not mean to myself about them either. It took me 3 years to get to this point, to 100 subscribers, and I've learned to be kind to myself through that journey. If I was mean to myself like that, I would have given up a long time ago. If there's a flaw in the video, I try to take a note of it as something that can be improved, or if it can't be, to just move on because there's nothing to do about it now. Having a VTuber has helped immensely with not being mean to myself, though. I used to hate my voice a lot too, but that deep-seated self-hate has dissipated over time too. Honestly, if you feel that poorly about yourself and your videos now, I'd just like to say, it's okay. It'll pass. As long as you're passionate about what you're doing, eventually you'll be more proud of it than you could ever possibly hate on it. Question 9. Do you feel guilty when you promote your work on social media? And this is going to be an unusual answer, but no. I don't feel guilty about posting self-promo, but that's also because I've singled out and curated accounts specifically for my content. I'm not bothering my friends and family with it, which is the only reason that I think a creator trying to make a living from something should feel guilty, unless they are incessantly spamming posts, I guess. When I post about my work, I feel good about it because I'm offering value to my followers with it, I'm offering them a piece of writing, or informing them about content to come that I hope they'll enjoy. To be honest, I dislike the opposite of the spectrum more, when content creators post just the most random, mundane stuff from their life. In the context of being a creator, though, you know? I can't tell you how many times that I've been put off from following a fellow writer because they keep posting pictures of what they ate for dinner on their social media. I'm just here for your writing, thanks. I strongly believe in separating personal and professional accounts, which is why I don't feel guilty about self-promo. That should be what my followers are there for in the first place, to get their hands on my content, you know? In question 10, did this tag make you reconsider your entire YouTube channel? Nope. Having just hit 100 subs, I am now more than ever inspired to keep going, improving, and growing the channel. I hope that you found this tag and my answers to its questions fun. Honestly, I think the questions were a little too pushy, trying to get me to admit to hating my content more than I do. I am certainly always anxious about other people's opinions of me, but I am not my own worst critic, which is what I think that this was getting at. My answers would be different had I answered them a decade ago, but I'm a grumpy old lady now. I don't have time to be tearing myself down if I want to get anything done. If you want to do the tag yourself, consider yourself tagged, and the list of questions will be in the description below. Thanks again to all of my subscribers. It's awesome that we've hit 100. Next on the achievements list is, I don't know, 500, right? Maybe not that much. Maybe something a little bit sooner. But I'll try to come up with something special to do no, not if, when we get there too. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to support me and this channel, you can find a link to my Ko-fi in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and an extra special thanks to all of the open book supporters. You're the best, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.